Hello, Sam. This is just some feedback for the contextual project. To save time, I'm just doing this as a screen recording that you can look at in your own time. So basically, what you've got so far is the essay. That's when I'm essentially looking at this. And let's go from there. So the essay essentially was asking you to produce contextual research that fits within the surrealist project or subject area. Okay, so let's just have a look quickly on the contextual research assignment. Okay, so contextual report should be formal research into other works, including literature, television, music, film, and art. And all included sources will be displayed using the Harvard Reference System. Okay, and you've got training on how to do that. Okay. Now, immediately as I'm looking here, you've got text, you've got images, that's fine. You've got a reference here, okay? Look, that's where I got this image from. That's fine, sure. But you should be looking at improving the way in which you display information, okay? So we've already talked about your desires to move ahead, jump from 1 year of level 3 into a university course. You're not necessarily going to be ready for that jump unless you think about certain academic practices, okay? A lot of your assessments in university are essay-based, okay? And it's only going to be advantageous if you can start applying those practices as soon as possible, okay? So that means, you know, proper Harvard referencing. All of these references and everything should be at the bottom, okay? And you have in-text citations, okay? So for example, here, this is a citation. I don't think this is a citation that you've added here. I think this is simply something that you have copied, and then that's their in-text citation. Generally, say for example, if this was, say, about Andre Breton and his Surrealist Manifesto, that in-text citation would be Andre Breton, in brackets, comma, 1924. And then at the end of the page, you would have these lists, and even these lists themselves should be in a proper format. So if we go to, sorry, this for me as a way to refer to this. So let's just get a book and just type in surrealism, see what we get. Okay, so we've got loads and loads. So this one actually has Andre Breton as one of the authors. Okay, so it should be pretty straightforward to create a reference based on this. Okay, a little chance for you to add some information, but you don't necessarily need to. And there you go. You've got your in-text citation, Reed and Breton, 1975, and your bibliography should be looking like this. Okay, so a long list of sources that you've used. That's what I'm looking for, okay? So, one thing to take into account is that at this stage, as it stands, because it's not necessarily fitting with the proper required, what's the word? The required format, I can't necessarily tell when you have actually been writing in your own words and when you haven't. Okay, so just bear that in mind. There's an awful lot of things. So there's some quote. There's an actual quote here. Okay, but yeah, again, I don't necessarily know where that's been quoted from. References 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's more. There is more references that you actually added. Are you actually mentioning those in there? It's a little bit higgledy-piggledy, and you should have clearer paragraphs. And yeah, other than that, you know, I would avoid using the number 2 when you could just say the word 2 in text. Other than that, I think spelling, punctuation, and grammar are okay. It's just mainly your paragraph spacing and everything like that. I mean, is that a paragraph? I mean, what's going on with that? That needs to be a full paragraph, you know, and perhaps less subheadings. Try to make it so that it flows like a full essay normally does.